Hey there, it's me, Shelley, back again for another chit chat. I was wondering what I was going to chit chat about this week, and I was thinking as I was talking to somebody yesterday about purpose. We had a discussion about purpose and what really is our purpose. Most of us, I think, go through life not even thinking about it. We just do whatever our parents expect us to do. Some of us maybe went to school to study something based on what our parents wanted us to study. We became that thing. We spent 30 years doing that thing. We retired, hopefully had some money in the bank, and maybe had grandchildren and went on our merry way. Some of us, like me, have had a gazillion jobs. We've done a lot of different things, but there's been a through line in those jobs. All but maybe one or two have involved some kind of service to community or service to other people in that organization. And then there are those that just go from thing to thing and really don't seem to have any theme in what they do. And many are happy doing just that. They're happy just going from paycheck to paycheck. Some people making a lot of money doing whatever they're doing and not really needing to have a purpose and just earning a living and going about their merry way. But there are those who struggle with purpose and wonder if there's more to life than just getting up in the morning, eating breakfast, going to work, going to school, coming home, eating dinner, maybe watching TV, whatever, and going to sleep. Some people wonder if I'm not doing something grand, great, something noticeable, have I achieved anything? And in having that conversation with that person, I very quickly came to the conclusion that our society, especially our Western society, really judges us hard for not prescribing to this notion that in order to be purposeful, in order to be worthy, you have to have made money, you have to have a business card, you have to have a house that you own. Well, really the bank owns it, but you know what I mean. You have to have a house, you have to have a car, usually you have to have kids, and those are the rules. And it's really sad because in my lifetime, I know that I could have been happy without all of that. In fact, in my 60s, I know that I'm extremely happy without a lot of stuff. In fact, I'm happier now than I ever was with a lot of stuff. I'm glad I have my two sons. I don't think I would ever want to go back in time and not have them. But if I never had them, would my life had lacked meaning? I don't think so. I think I would have always found a way to find meaning in my life. I know I've had times in my life when I wondered, where am I going with all this? But those were times when I really struggled with my sobriety and or my mental health. I think it's important, especially as we bring our children up, whether those children are small and young or they're adults now, really are careful about how we talk about life's purpose and expectation and giving congratulations. Now that we're in that graduation season, there are those who will not walk across that stage. Does that make their life less meaningful? I think not. Having been a principal at an alternative school, I guarantee you, those kids' lives meant something and still do, regardless whether they walked across that stage. And oh, by the way, all but one walked across the stage the year I was the principal, and they earned it. It doesn't matter whether you walk across the stage. In fact, I think walking across the stage has lost a lot of meaning because kids walk across the stage at preschool now. It's kind of lost luster. I guess participation trophy is where it all started, right? We want our kids to be proud of what they do, but at the same time, shouldn't they understand that life is not all roses and glory? There are tough times. And it's getting through those tough times, I think, that really shows us what we're made of. I know for me, and I'm glad that I've got a lot of my mom in me, because, boy, if I didn't, I wouldn't have made it through those tough times. And getting through those tough times has helped me get through other tough times, and it's helped me help others get through their tough times too. Maybe my life's purpose is just showing that you can do this, that life isn't over just because a disaster strikes. And God knows I've had my share of them. I don't really know at the end of the day, if and when I get to those pearly gates, what my purpose will have been. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to just go day to day, because all I have is this moment right now. And if we pin all of our hopes and dreams on that walk across that stage at the age of 18, what happens next? What happens the rest of our lives? We don't want it to be a downhill slide, do we? We don't want kids to be disappointed that life isn't all hunky-dory afterwards, do we? The promise of college, the promise of a job and a retirement, the old gold watch as it used to be in my day. I don't know if those things even exist anymore. I think they do for some people. They never existed for me. And I used to be bitter about that. I'm not anymore, because I've learned that I can still work, albeit not doing what I thought I was going to be doing at this stage in the game, but I can still work. Gosh, I'm going to be going back to Disneyland and making magic. How many people in their life get to say that they get to make magic at Disneyland? I think it's probably every little kid's dream, isn't it? And now I can say I've done it 3 times. So I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what your purpose is. I don't even know if it's important to find out what it is. But I do know that it's important to not end at the letter Z. And that's where I have a book recommendation for you. It's going to be hard to find it. If you can find it in a public library, then you need to give kudos to the librarian or whomever put it on the shelf. But one of Dr. Seuss's greatest books is called On Beyond Zebra. It's about a kid who thinks that the alphabet ends at the letter Z. And he learns quickly that it doesn't. There's a whole world beyond that. And I challenge you to find that book. And if you have kids or kids in your life, read it to them. I read it to my kids when I was an elementary librarian. I read it to all the kids in that school. And it's a book that I have found and given to people for years. And like I said, it's hard to come by, but if you can find it in a public library, I suggest you get it. And you read it to kids over and over again, and make sure they understand that the alphabet doesn't end at Z, and their life doesn't end when they walk across that stage of graduation. In fact, it's barely just begun. Who knows what their purpose is? Their purpose isn't wrapped up in a degree. It's not wrapped up in a job. It's much bigger than that. So much bigger. And I hope, for all of our sakes, that they learn what that is sooner than I might, because I think the world can be a better place when people don't wrap their purpose in being around a title or around a piece of paper. Well, that's all I have to say. What do you think? Have you found your life's purpose? If you have, that's wonderful. What are you doing? What is that purpose, and what have you done with it? If you haven't found it, what are you doing to find it? Do you think if it's even important? I'm curious to find out. Let me know.